Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So happy to be here doing another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit more bold, a little bit out of my comfort zone because usually I'm all about the neutrals and the warm tones, but I decided today to step it up a notch and do something a little bit different, incorporate some colors and just do like a really fun look. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, give this video a thumbs up and continue watching if you want to see. Thank you. So for this eye look, I'm going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette. There goes the brush that comes in it, which I will use. This is what the palette looks like. I have played with it quite a few times and the pigmentation is great on it. They're super easy to work with. They're super blendable and I just love how it's like a colorful palette, but at the same time it's very neutral and just wearable. For more bold looks, I always like to do my shadows first. So before we go into shadows, I'm gonna start and prime my lids. You always have to prime your lids, especially if you're doing like a bolder look. And I'm using my MAC paint pot in the color Soft Ochre, and I'm just gonna use my finger. My phone won't stop buzzing. I'm just gonna use my finger and apply it to my lids. I like this primer because it's pretty opaque, so it kind of covers any redness on my eyes and just kind of giving me like a really nice clean slate. And I do like to use it with my finger. I feel like it applies just like more evenly. Don't mind my brows. I know they're not done and it's killing me, but we gotta work with it here because I hate doing my brows before shadow. I feel like all the shadow and everything just gets in them anyway, so I like to just do it after, clean them up. I'm gonna be taking, let's see, the color Burnt Orange right here. And I'm using the Anastasia brush that came in with the palette. Tapping off the excess. And I'm working this right into my crease. I never know how to say it, if it's Anastasia, everyone says it differently, so. And every time I say it, it just like comes out differently, so I never really know how to say it. I'm using this color Burnt Orange as kind of like my transition color. Just putting that into the crease, making sure it's blended out nicely. Don't worry too much about like the edges over here because once we do the face makeup after, we'll go ahead and really clean that up and make sure we have a nice clean line. So as long as it's blended out, that's all that's important. When you're doing transition colors, or really any color, it's really important to make sure that you're putting the most amount of pigment like where you really want it to be. So for example, since we want the transition color to mainly be in this area here, I wouldn't go in with the brush first time and directly put it on the end. We want it to be here, so we apply it and then blend it out from side to side, instead of directly putting it here because it'll be much harder to kind of get that color to go where we need it to. This is a Sephora crease brush. It's completely clean. I'm just going in with it, making sure that everything is blended nicely and that we have no harsh edges. Now going in with the color Red Ochre. I'm going to use the other side of the Anastasia brush, tap off the excess, and I'm going to just place it exactly where I want the color to go. So I'm not blending yet, I'm just patting it so we get the most pigment out of it, dipping it again, and just placing the color right where we want it. And then I'll use the other side and just blend out that edge. Dipping back in to the smaller side. And I'm just gonna keep doing this, applying the color, blending it out, applying the color, blending it out, until I get the darkness that I'm looking for and like the desired color that I'm looking for as well. One more time. Okay, and so this is a halo eye, so we're gonna repeat the same thing on the inner corner of the eye. I personally, when I do halo eyes, still like to leave some space here because I feel like if I put too much darkness right in the corner, kind of makes my eyes look smaller, kind of closes them up. Sometimes comes out like a little scary. So I try to really leave a little bit of room, but make sure that I'm kind of getting as close as I can, but still leaving some room there. Blending it out. And it's okay if it's like not even here because we're gonna go back and kind of place some colors in this area right in the center. So it's totally okay if this kind of seems messy or not even. Just blend it out. I'm gonna take this Morphe E13 brush and continue with that color Red Ochre. And I just wanted a little bit of a thinner brush to kind of just work a little bit more into the crease to kind of just keep it a little bit more precise. Make sure we're not going too high up with that dark color. So now I want to add a little bit of pink into the mix. And I'm still sticking with matte colors because the center of our lid, I kind of want to make it really bright and gold. So I still want to stick with matte colors. So I'm going to go into this color called Love Letter, and I'm using my Morphe E18 brush again, dipping in. And I'm going to apply this into my crease, but kind of keeping it much lower than anywhere we put the colors earlier. So not trying to cover any of the colors we had before, but just applying it a little lower to just brighten up those colors a little bit. And if you notice, we're focusing all of the color everywhere but the center of the lid. Of course, it's okay if a little shadow gets there because we'll take care of it later, but we're not putting anything directly there. Staying in the crease and on the sides of our lid. Same thing on the other side. And then I'm going in with a clean blending brush and just making sure we have no harsh edges. Blend, blend, and more blending. Okay, so this is what the eyes look like as of now. So we have a little bit of a halo eye going on, darkness at the corners, and then the center of the eye is empty. So to make the center of the eye really, really pop, I'm gonna go in with my Cover FX Custom Enhancer drops, and this is in the shade Sunlight. I love these drops, not only for highlight, they really are highlight, like a liquid highlight, but I really like them to use on the eyes. I feel like they just make the lid pop so much, or even the tear ducts. I've used them just in the tear duct before, and they really just do such a great job. So I'm gonna put a drop on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna take flat concealer brush, if I could find it. So this is a Tarte concealer brush. I'm taking a little bit right onto my brush, just a little bit really goes a long way with this product. And I'm placing it right on the center of my lid. I'm not bringing it up too far because I don't want to cover that pink crease that we made. So I'm just applying it right in the center, but keeping it lower and not covering the crease. A lot of times if you don't want necessarily like a bright goldy or like shiny center, you can put concealer in place of the highlighter and then just apply whatever shadow you want, whether it's like a matte light shadow. But since we're going for that like bright gold look, the liquid highlighter underneath is just perfect for this because it'll just make that gold shadow pop even more. And it's okay if it's like totally not even, because we're gonna go over this with some gold shadow anyway, because you never wanna just leave a liquid product to write on the eye. It'll kind of stay super tacky. You always wanna put something on top of it where it'll set it, and just make sure that it's kind of completely dried on the eye. With a flat brush, I'm gonna pick up the color Primavera, and I'm applying this right over that liquid highlight. I know it looks a little crazy, but don't worry, we're gonna blend everything together. And if you notice, I am not swiping, I am patting it on because that helps to really build up the color. And especially with metallic colors like this, or shiny colors, whatever you wanna call them, they tend to have a little bit more fallout because of the reflex in them and the, you know, the glitter. Even though this color doesn't have much glitter, it still has a little bit of fallout, so this kind of helps it to not get everywhere. I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe E18 brush, and I'm not adding any more product just yet. I will, but for right now, I just wanna kind of clean up all the edges of that gold that we did, kind of just opening it up, opening the color back up that it kind of covered, and just making it blend a little more seamlessly. Into that color Love Letter that we used in the crease, and I'm applying it in that same area right in the crease, right above that gold. Just want to bring back some of that pink. Okay, and I'm taking that Anastasia brush and just blending that out. And then I want to just go back in with that first color that we used, the red ochre. Soft ochre was my primer. Red ochre, and just make sure that we have that darkness that we want and that we didn't lose any of that. So back in with the red ochre and just applying it right to the corners. Applying some right here and again to this corner. To the inside corners. Just taking that flat brush that we used for the gold and just kind of blending the edges a little bit, and I'm pushing the darker colors kind of onto the gold. Instead of pushing the gold onto the darker colors, we're kind of moving those shadows to have a nice seamless blend. Again, it's a little still on my hand, so I'm taking that same concealer brush and I'm applying that right to the inner corners of my eye. And then for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go back in, of course, with the palette and kind of just mimic what I've done on top. So first, my Morphe E18 brush, and I'm gonna go in with the red ochre, and I'm gonna stay towards the outer part of the eye. And then I'm gonna take Love Letter and then kind of connect that gold and the red ochre. Okay, I'm gonna grab my favorite liquid liner. This is the NYX Collection Noir Black Liquid Liner, and I'm gonna try to keep it super nice and thin. My liner is done. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face, my eyebrows, and then I'll be right back. I am not showing my face makeup on camera just because it is the same exact routine that I posted in my current foundation routine for flawless skin. So I'll link that below so you guys can check that out, and I'll be right back. So we're almost done, but a few things I forgot to do that I wanted to do on camera. I'm gonna use the color Golden Ochre right here for my brow bone. Just kind of lightly dust over so it doesn't look too white from our primer. Just very lightly. So it kind of just looks like our skin color and matches our foundation. And then I'll take clean blending brush and just go back, make sure that it's nice and blended. I'm also going to go back in with that color Primavera and put it over inner tear duct highlight to really make it pop. And since we were already using the custom enhancer drops, I decided that I want to use them for my highlight as well. One drop. Dip my beauty blender, still a little damp, and just apply it to the tops of my cheekbones. This stuff is blinding. And then to set that liquid highlight, I'm gonna go in with my MAC Soft and Gentle, which I use in my video with the current foundation routine. So I just added one little step in between. I mean, come on. Is that blinding or what? For blush, I'm gonna be using the shade Dallas from Benefit. And in my other video, I mentioned why I do my blush after my highlight, when normally it's the opposite. I still didn't do mascara, but I always like to do that after I set my face so that way I don't wet the mascara and it kind of gets everywhere. So I'm gonna spray my face with some Mario Badescu Rose Water. Let it sit for a second. Go back in with my beauty blender and just make sure everything's nice and creaseless and blended together. Okay, so to finish off this look, I'm lining my lips with MAC Lip Pencil in Strip Down. And then I'm applying the KKW Beauty Lip Cream in the shade Kimberly. This is the one by Kylie Cosmetics, and this shade is the most nude shade. So this is the final look. I hope you really enjoyed this makeup look. It's something different, but it's still super fun, and I think it's still wearable. Of course, I maybe wouldn't do this for like during the day, but going out at night to a party, to a restaurant, I would rock this 100%. So I hope you guys liked this look, and please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.